I'd like to kind of show you what Ansible can do for us. And Ansible is a DevOps tool often used to configure systems through an agentless design, which means it doesn't have software installed on the computers that it is putting its configuration on. So Ansible communicates from the host server using what we call SSH, or secure shell. That enables encrypted communication between a host server and the clients. And what Ansible does to push things onto servers is it uses something called playbooks. And it is a scripting sort of language that is very easy to read for a developer. And it's written in a language called YAML. Now, YAML is very easy to read, and we'll be showing a little bit of that here in a bit. But wanted to go ahead and talk about what I'm going to demo today. So today I'm going to show you Ansible, and I'm going to be moving configuration to 3 different servers. And I've set them up. They're called Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. I'm going to be using a playbook, and the first playbook that I'm going to be using will be pushing Apache server out to these various servers. Then, when I get done with that, I'm going to be showing how I can use variables to configure individual web pages using the same playbook, but wanting to show you the power of this tool and how simple it really can be. So how it does it, this Ansible server, I'm going to connect to it, and I'm going to push via SSH commands to install Apache server to all these different servers, and I'm also going to make it run on a non-standard port. So that's kind of cool. So you can see you can really configure a lot. And then Ansible, when it's done, it disconnects. Again, it's agentless. It connects over SSH. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in. And what I'm going to do is I'm on my Ansible server right now. And so I'm going to switch user over to an account I call Dumbo. And you can see across the top I've got 3 other servers that I have built, one called Alpha, one called Bravo, and one called Charlie, just for the sake of showing that they exist and they are really not configured for Apache or anything like that. And you can kind of see there's nothing in the HTML folder. Just wanted to kind of show you that this is all going to happen via Ansible. So what I'd like to do now, now that I have gotten over to my system, I'm going to kind of show you where I've stored these playbooks. And this is inside the user account Dumbo. And you can see these playbooks. There's different YAML files. The Apache one is the one that I'm going to use first. And I wanted to show you what the Apache YAML looks like. And you can see it's fairly straightforward, very easy to read, even if you don't understand code. Tells you which server and what I'm going to do on it. And this is right here, this is configuring it to change from port 80 to port 8081. Port 80 is a standard port for installing or running a web server. But I want to show you this because it's important so you can see how you can configure things via this powerful tool. And it's a very simple language. So I'm going to go ahead and execute this just as soon as I show you that there is nothing running on this port. I went ahead and, just for the sake of showing you, I'm not playing any games here. There is nothing there. So we'll go ahead and now I'm going to execute my Apache YAML file and going to make sure I get into the right folder of where these things are. All right, so I've entered this command before, but it's simply Ansible, and I tell it to do playbook, and I tell it the playbook name. And you can see it's connected already to Alpha, Charlie, and Bravo in that order. It's giving me some warnings, but that's nothing really to worry about. But all in that little bit of time, it installed Apache on each one of these. I'm going to go ahead and refresh them so you can see that it actually did install on these boxes. I'm going to go ahead and refresh them. You can see the page came back there. And see this one, same thing. All of these executed the same code. So right there you see all 3 web servers installed in little under 20-30 seconds. And I just did 3 servers. You could do 300 this way if you wanted to. There's no upper limit as far as I am aware. So now what I want to do is I want to create and upload a web page to each of these servers. I'm going to show you the YAML that I'm going to use. And it's very simply, I'm going to pass 2 variables. In this case, one via this script, hello world. And all it's doing is copying it using this index.j2, which is a template file. And then I'm telling you where to store it. And that's the standard location for where web documents are stored on a web server. And you can see here's the template file. It's going to take that variable I pass in, variable 1. It's going to put hello world in the title. And then I'm getting in some of these variables that are present there, that key facts, if you will, that I can put in, and it should put that in the body. It'll put this host name. But again, you can see how simple this is, but it will be able to utilize those templates and be able to deploy to those servers just like that. And so I'm going to go ahead and run this playbook. I'm going to get to the command that does it. So again, running the Ansible playbook and executing the one we just showed you, the create homepage. You can see it was able to successfully do that. I'm going to go ahead and refresh these real quick so you can see. All right, see, so hello world, and you can see that passed it via that variable up in the title, and then right here in the name of the page. And what I did is replaced what was put there by default, so that's why if I refresh, I can show you this. See, in this one's Bravo, same thing, put hello world in the title. And finally, the same thing here on the Charlie server as well. So that is Ansible, showing you that I can do a lot of things really quickly. It's very powerful, and definitely one of these you want to keep in your arsenal.